We're live, both on Reddit and on YouTube, so I'll say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me here in this moment again. Making this place a good place for what it's worth. Choosing, instead of making this another place on the internet that absolutely sucks, making at least one place on the internet that does. Is it working again? Sicketh! It's working. Day 600. You're right, Lynn. 600 days? 600 days! That seems like a lot of days, huh? And yet, here we are, in the now. Place. Indeed, this place does not suck. Yes. I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna go and fill my water bottle. Bear with me. Love to you. Joy Vive and Jovan, Gab Nugget, Shannon and Anna. So much love to you, friends. I'll be back in a second. I'm happy that things are working. Well, it seems that there's no water, so I'll have to do. I think I have like a single glass. There's some dirt in this one. Extra flavor adder. Yes, exactly. Exactly perfect. Nothing is out of order. There was there was no water for me to get, it seems. Yes, this is all the water we need. Thank you, Fred, so much for joining me. Today's stream topic just came as this moment in meditation to me, where I was reflecting on what the future of the space is going to be and what the potential obstacles will be that we'll face. And the biggest obstacle we'll face is going to be ourselves. You know, ourselves as other people, maybe. But it'll be us that we're going to face. And some versions of us, for some reason, get so involved in perpetuating this idea that we are somehow or another lacking, somehow or another unworthy, somehow or another justified in our rage, you know, to be like, or to watch someone messing up and to not say anything so that we can be angry at them for messing up, you know, and to kind of transition that feeling. I'm like saying a million things at the same time, trying to explain what I'm feeling, but the thing that we're gonna face is that, you know, that mentality of wanting to be angry, wanting to be hateful, wanting to believe that we're separate, and that's the thing that we're gonna have to fight. You know, that on the internet and in the world there surely is suffering, there surely is injustice, there surely is things that we would want to change, you know, things that suck, to say it in the simplest of terms. But to try with this space to create something that in fact doesn't suck, you know, we're not pretending that suck is not a very much a part of this reality that we're a part of. Very much so. There's suck in everything, you know, if you look for it. But there's beauty in everything as well. And to kind of just uplift that fact, you know, to acknowledge the fact that, yes, sure, we might be an echo chamber, but we're trying to echo love instead of trying to echo the suck, you know. And if we can continue doing that, what is that going to mean for our planet? What's going to mean for our reality? What is going to mean for our humanity? What is going to mean for the way we treat one another? Thank you, Lynn. It's nice to have you here. Gab, indeed, this place does not suck. Hum, num, hum, num, nom, I agree, Week. I do agree, friend. I feel that way as well sometimes. Natalie tuning in, saying, hello. I got back home at 1 a.m. from our Rammstein concert in Montreal. The whole trip was wild. It was so good to sleep in my own bed. Now to unpack today. Goodness. After like the first night after coming back from a festival, it feels like it feels like you're in a new world almost. Being able to drop onto a bed and you're like, yes, human, this is how I'm supposed to feel. I'm supposed to feel secure, warm in my own bed. I'm supposed to feel like I can civilizations or something. I can go in society. Gob time of a day. Gob time of day in your respective region. Thank you. Thank you, Gobby Nugget. It's nice to have you. Jovan, lovely to you. Lovely to see you. You lovely. Look, here we are. Here we are. Even Amanda is joining us. So much love to you too. Melita, it's nice to have you, friend. Thank you for the rainbow love. Great day, Shanansky, Jobat, and Amanda. What do you mean there's no water? There's no water right now. I turned the tap and then nothing came out. Maybe one of our goblins stole all of the water. Gateway process. Intently looking at you. I've been mulling over this gateway. It's been mildly confusing to say the least. Because this whole time, and I don't even know if I want to say this to you, but I feel you want me to say this to you. Like the part of me that is like rendering you as as the faulty version of yourself, faulty in the context of identification. I'm being contrived. I'm sorry. It's just how my mind works. The thing that I want to say is that this whole time I thought you were in your 60s. Unironically, gateway process. Like, unironically, maybe in your 60s, like somewhere around there. And then the whole joke of you being a boomer, I was like, again, confused, feeling like I should say something. And then the whole goblin, goblin. Stop stealing my order. So much love to you, Gateway. It's nice to have you here too, friend. Gateway, so much love. What city you at? Nice look. Frank Judah. How nice to have you, friend. This is very much not a city. At least not any conventional city that I've seen. Like there's probably no city in that general direction for hundreds of kilometers. The closest city I have is Pretoria. Is it? I think so. Pretoria. It's like 200 kilometers away, if you're curious. I'm happy you enjoyed that gateway. Physically youthful, soul of goblin, yes. Here for all of the shinies. Looks into the sun. Give me more shinies. I need to calm down. It seems I'm already chaos monkeying. A little bit too early into the chat. Nice, Molly. So nice to see you too. Thank you for joining us on day 600. You still have those pants? I do, but I colored them in the meanwhile. Now they're the same pants, but they look different. Pretoria, I love the village you're in. I want to visit one day. Frank Judah, we have open beds, friend. I won't encourage you to stay longer than a week because I have a social bar, that also runs out. And then I'm like, oh, now I want to murder this person. So before I want to murder you, you have to leave. But you can come until. So much love to you, Frank Judah. It's nice to have you here, Fred. Thank you for the love. Gateway is a water goblin. Did you know? Didn't you know, Jovive? Didn't you even know, Fred? Talking about water goblins. Ermius. I wanted to say, for some reason, I wanted to cheers. Yes, to the water goblins. But then suddenly I was like, I don't know if I want to cheer the water goblins. Maybe they're like, they're gonna start living with me or something. Live in the dam. Steal our kids or something. What do the water goblins do? Yes, I know what you mean. Thanks, and one day, maybe when I'm rich enough. Same, Frank. Maybe when I'm rich enough, I'll come and live with you for a bit, friend. Come to SA, but you can only stay long enough. Yes, you can stay long enough, and then how long is enough? However, enough long. Oh goodness, yeah. I'm open for visits. I'm open for visits. We can be like, all zen like. Go to the little mountain we have, eat a bunch of mushrooms, talk about the nature of reality and being human. And then we can go back into the world pretending to be people, you know. Could be fun. Could be fun. To the water goblins. Yeah. I am Gob Goblin, and I did not steal water. Hmm. Technically, you can't steal water, can you? You can only like, and this is unironically something that I do. You know, instead of telling someone I'm gonna go to the bathroom, I like to say I'm gonna go and give water back to the universe, because essentially that is what you're doing. You don't get to keep it. You're just bartering it, basically. Gob the gob goblin steals giggles. Gob the gob goblin steals the giggles. Gleefully, with the goodest of gargantuan gremlins. With the glee and goodness of gargantuan goblin gremlin. Oh goodness. Who was it? It was one of my asexual friends who posted this, like basically meme, you know, where it's baby Yoda and then it's old Yoda, and it was like baby Yoda, old Yoda, and then it like put in that frame of one of the gremlins. I think it was the one that was like smoking in the bar, you know, like you know the gremlin I'm talking about. And then it was like middle-aged alcoholic Yoda. And I, for some reason, it like broke me. It like absolutely broke me in half. I couldn't, for the life of me, understand why it was so funny, but I was like, yeah, exactly. Middle-aged alcoholic Yoda. I feel like all of us are middle. Just flying through infinity. Awesome! 600 days. Melt, you were amazing for showing up with this commitment. Thank you for inspiring me. I want to just say those words right back to you, Brother Bay. Thank you for doing the same, man. Heath Ledger, the one and only, dude. Died, came back to life as a hippie, it seems. You know, regardless of the fact that I came back as a hippie before I died, here I am as a hippie, having been Heath Ledger, not being Heath Ledger. You were Heath Ledger too, friend. Thank you for the love. I appreciate that. On B, thank you, friends, for joining me. Seriously, 600 days, you know, 600 days. It feels ethereal. It feels kind of ethereal, like it's not like I'm dreaming, weirdly enough. Dry historian. Great to see everybody today. Great to spend some time in the lack of suck with you on B. To have at least one space in which things just don't straight up suck. That we can be like, huh, look at that. Things don't suck for at least this moment. Because we're together. And we get to see one another. Huh, Dry? We get to be like, oh yeah, my friend Dry Historian. Having shown up again. Having shown up specifically for day 600. The suck. The amount of suck. You know, like we're going into some interesting times. Post capitalism? Is that how you say it? Hmm. I'm looking for a specific word in my brain. We're watching it collapse, you know, and as we're watching it collapse, some individuals are trying to prepare for what comes next. Some individuals are trying to rob the corpse of what was, you know, and to kind of tune ourselves into that, right? Like, imagine how much suck it would be to try and rob a corpse of all it has left in comparison to trying to nurture a baby to life, you know, so that it can be a beautiful stallion or whatever. To actually want to live in spaces that don't suck. You know, and I'm thinking about this from a genuine perspective of reflection today. You know, what is it inside of us that sees happiness, that sees a certain energy, and then compels us to try and interrupt that? Is it again separation, believing that because I don't feel that way, other people shouldn't feel that way? Late stage capitalism. That's the word I was looking for, friend. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. Late stage capitalism. You know, we're like seeing the cracks. We're like being like, that doesn't that doesn't seem safe. Are you sure that thing's gonna hold up? And some people are like, yeah, surely. You know, with like hooks in around their ears, keeping their smiles up. Surely it's gonna keep working. And then there's other people being like, yeah, no. Yeah, definitely not. And the thing that hurts me the most is the fact that it's going to hurt those who have the least more than any of us. How was your 9 eggs and a half a block of meat today? Didn't have any of that today, friend. I've been having a hard time eating as of late. I've been exercising less, which probably contributes to that. But I've been in my head too much to want to eat. I'm thinking, dude. Thinking, doing things. It can be just as beautiful as it can be exhausting sometimes. The thing that bothers me is just a sense of powerlessness. You know, to feel in part like you see what's happening, but to at the same time see how you are. I'm paying attention to the words I want to say to make sure I'm only saying things that I want to believe, but to be capable of helping, you know. And I feel like that's maybe where you want to come and sit on me. That's maybe where like some of my anxiety comes from about wanting to be able to do more faster, because I want to be able to do things for the people that don't have people thinking about them. You know, if that makes any sense. Like how many people out there don't have access to the internet, don't have access to technology, to interface with the internet, and then lastly, don't have the platform to be able to reach people, even if they do have the technology and the internet. And then as a result of that, so many people are going unnoticed, suffering as a result of our collective, I don't know if greed is the right word, ignorance might even be the better word. You know, and I feel the age we're heading into is going to be one of hyperconnectivity in the way where the individual human need will be recognized. It might not always be heeded, but at least recognized. And from that place of recognition, at least something could change. Hopefully, something would change. I can't imagine it would continue not changing. You know, and it comes back to this economies of scale thing, where if we are going to develop systems that benefit someone, let's just say a single person, a rich benefactor, if this person pays an excessive amount of money to develop something, it would be unwise for them to try and keep it for themselves because of economies of scale. Meaning that making more of something makes it cheaper, one, and two, making more of something and then distributing it to people allows you to pay back the investment that you had to put in to create the thing in the first place. So it gives me a hope in a sense for the future we're heading into, in the way where we'll have access to most of the things that we consider rich people to have access to. You know, specifically just the ability to create things, the ability to create lives for ourselves, the ability to be free from a certain pattern of existence. You know, coming back to this understanding that self love isn't you eating a chocolate or taking a bath, but self love is in fact creating a life for yourself which you don't have to escape. And I feel the world we're existing in right now can sometimes be so sucky that we want to escape and to try, at least in moments like this, as we are right now, create moments for ourselves which don't suck like that. To at least have moments in our world that doesn't suck, you know, the moments we spend with our family members, the moments we spend with our pets, the moments we spend maybe in the shower washing ourselves, to just kind of lean into and recognize the amount of beautiful moments that we have instead of taking the suck with us everywhere we go. You know? You do know. Asu, wow, day 600. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement, friend. Will there be Game of Thrones season 9? I mean, if they pay me enough, maybe. You know, it obviously completely hinges on whether or not I want to. So I'll see. Hungry Fox joining us as well. Hi to you, friends. It's nice to have you. Here's to 600 more streams. I'm looking forward to it. 600 more streams will have us in the year 2024, huh? End of year 2024. What would have changed? What technologies would have been available? Yo, just GPT. GPT-4 is probably going to be semi AGI, you know? And by 2024, GPT-4 is going to be available. GPT-3 is already absolutely astounding. And it's becoming exponential. I believe 2044 is going to be when we hit singularity. Complete unity of all systems, at least on Earth. You want to come and shade with me, silly girl? Thank you for spending some time in unity with me. You know, and this is what unity is. The fact that she came and sat on my lap, now I can give her ear scratches. You know, that in this moment there is a unity between me and her, where I am potentially getting trace amounts of oxytocin, giving her ear scratches, and she's getting trace amounts of oxytocin, getting ear scratches. And because of that love, we are united. We are having a unified experience. In other words, without her being here and without me being here, nothing is here. And that is the future we're heading into, where we're going to be the experience. We're going to be it, you know. Sweetie girl. We already are it. But I feel we're going to recognize human beings as it. Take care of human beings, you know? And it kind of sucks again that it might take that long. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it might be sooner. At least for us, it would be sooner. For the whole world, maybe 2044. Oh, what a sweetheart. Isn't she the sweetest? You hear that? People love you, puppy. People love you. Dogs are the best. They really are something. She teaches me she teaches me something every single day. Teaches me how to be gentle. At least in moments where she's not extremely anxious and panicking about something. Maybe that's the lesson as well, that you can be both. You can melt and you can be rigid. Huh, puppy long stockings? What's your hoofddoekjes? What's your mush mush? What's your mush mush mush? Dogs are the best. Suddenly all of our cat friends are up in arms, being like, excuse me? Excuse me, what did you just... Dogs are the best. We have so many dogs. Dogs are the best. Thank you for the love. Glad you friends cracked me up. I think maybe my YouTube messages broke again. Yeah, I did. I don't know why, but it did. Shanna is joining us as well. Sending you love, Shanna. Speaking of babies, out of my current super sucky situation, I became an auntie again yesterday evening. I have a new baby nephew. Bringing some non-suck into moments of suck. I like it. Maybe we can keep replacing all of the suck with non-suck until there's no more suck left. How about that, Shannon? So much love to you. Congratulations, friend. All your goggles are borrowed by me and then returned more abundant. Yes. Give me some goggles. Looking through these lenses of love. Literally, goggles, giggles. What's the difference? Well, goggles in this context exactly. For some reason, when you mentioned the word goggles, my mind kind of went to the hyper-technological realm where there are these goggles that you put on your face. And then as soon as you put them on your face, all you see is abundance, you know. You're just like, yes, infinity everywhere. And then realize that technically we all share those goggles, looking at one another, through one another right now. So, God, even though it was a typo, it was a worthy one, friend. Thank you, Amanda. Love to you. Her name is, his name is Cole. He's got the cutest chubby cheeks. I can't wait to meet him. I can only imagine. Thank you, Shan. I'm sorry you're having a super second situation, Shansky. It's neato that you still uplift us with that in consideration. You special, right? She really is. You know, I feel Shannon. Shannon might be fighting big demons. So if your friends have some extra VOPs to send her way, please do. What breed is she? She is a Jack Russell. Isn't human centrism also going to be a huge issue? It's going to be a huge issue only if we believe that we're only human. Hungry boy, throw away. I do agree. You know, human centralism is technically partially why we've gotten to the point we are right now with late stage capitalism being the way that it is. You know, the human centralism in the context of believing I am a center, I am a center entity in a world that is around me, you know, and I need to gather from this world as much as I can. Otherwise, me as this centerness will cease to be. You as a centerness will cease to be no matter what you do, right? And there's a power in recognizing that as well. But I feel there's even more power in recognizing that there is only one center, that there is only the center of love, and that we need to kind of lean towards that, to lean towards the center of love in every single person, and to kind of show up with that, to uplift that part of humanity, that even though we will see ourselves as the individuals we are, as the centers of the universe that we are, we'll also see every single other person as that. We'll see our dogs, our trees, our little birds as that as well. And I feel it might be easier to do it because of where we are right now with our human centralism. You know, like we had to walk before we could run, and we're walking right now, friend. Well, at least we're starting to catch speed. Millionaires, Jack Russell again, friend. Thank you for asking. The wargs lump flarm blamps. I do agree, Gob. The wargs lock flam glamps. Skip nop, nop, snip, skiddy, yep. For some reason, instantly my mind goes to like I'm a sim, you know, and now I'm gonna like hit the prompt to take a sip of water, you know, and there was like already an action lined up for me to pick up the stick, twirl the stick 3 times, and now there's an action queued up for me to pick my bong up. Action queued for me to make a bunch of sounds. Man, I don't know. Action queued. What action are we gonna queue next? What's our intention for queuing the following action? Non-suck, the good, this space, just this space. I'm smoking with the intention of this space, the space that we have created, Mr. Batman. Nice to see you, Batman. Love to you, friend. This space, huh, puppy? What do you think about that? Yeah. If the wind allows me is the question. Not right now. But right now. Almost had it. Not right now. No. It was like, gotcha. Yeah, you got the win, baby. I get it. As soon as this win allows me, this space. This space. I am smack dab in the middle of this space. Wind and all. Suck and non-suck. Beauty and horror. This space. There we go. Again, hello to you, Batman. It's nice to have you. Keep your knee. Our sunshine sister says, I see humans I love so much here. Hi, you humans. Hi to you too. Thank you. It's nice to see you. Kira Burb, how are you, friend? Thank you for the helpful. Love to you, friend. We're gonna be okay. Mr. Throwaway, Mr. Hungry Boy. You know, we're gonna be okay. I feel this mentality of being separate, being separate within human centrism. That I am separate as this center. Because I am center, it means that I am separate from everything else. We're coming back into the realization that we cannot ever separate ourselves from anything else. But the very air you're breathing is the earth, is the atmosphere, is the same air I'm breathing. And over enough years, you potentially will breathe the same molecules of air that I'm breathing right now. Thanks for taking some time. Thank you for taking some time with me, friend. If it wasn't for you taking time, I couldn't take time for you too. Mutual. Thank you for the wholesome Batman. Morning to you too again, Hungry Fox. We have Beamsy saying, morning friends. Thank you for joining us. Maxine, how are you feeling, my friend? Maxine finished her painting. It's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I've thought this, and I've probably shared this with you friends multiple times, but I consider a work of art, especially if it's a physical work of art, digital as well, but I feel maybe even more so with physical works of art, that as soon as you create it, it's almost like it has this tangibility within infinity to be like a center point within the infinity. That you make something with your hands as a conscious agent within infinity. And as a result of that, you create something that is divinely unique, one of a kind, in a reality that has everything, you know. It's like, again, taking slash recognition of your power as a creator to take what is here and make even more, to bring even more beauty. The way we save the world is going to be through love, through truth, and through beauty. And we've already taken care of the first two. Love is true, right? So beauty is basically just a thing that arises from the truth of love. All we have to do is find it. What dog breed is that? Squag. She's a Jack Russell. At least, I believe she's a Jack Russell. She might have some Chihuahua somewhere in there, but I'm not sure. What are your thoughts on simulation theory? Batman, at most, statistical is my thoughts on simulation theory. You know, like if you just look at the amount of progress, the amount of uh, depth we have reached with our current renderings of reality, if you extrapolate that into infinity, not only is it more likely that we are a part of a simulation, but it is almost unlikely that we're not. It's like it's one of these trips of we're going to eventually become like a stage one civilization, you know, where we use all of the energy that our star releases. That is a lot of energy. And even if we can do that, why would we do that? And the closest thing to a reason that I can think of, at least, for us to try and do that is one, colonization, but two, that colonization is only going to happen in retrospect slash in relation to processing of information. In other words, that even as we are right now, as we are continuing right now, just as these human beings, right, and which is it's technically like a leap away from assimilation as well in and of itself, even though we can technically run simulations in our head, which is a whole nother story, a whole nother trip for another time. But to kind of extrapolate it into this genuine deep understanding that if we as human beings will eventually develop the technology to create reality that is indistinguishable from our reality, and we're not even remotely close to being a stage one civilization. In other words, being able to use all of the energy coming off of our star right now. If we figure out how to do that, and we then utilize said resources of our entire mother star to then process information, i.e., render reality, we would be able to render multiple different realities within just our little solar system for billions of beings. And the thing is, as well, you can kind of create circumstantial realities within such an infinity as well, where even if a being, like, it doesn't have to be that complicated, is what I'm actually saying. Where if you have that much processing power, you can kind of process the entire planet down to the atomic molecules, down to the subatomic molecules. And then you could kind of like let creatures arise from those systems. And then if a creature decides to go and transverse, the rest of the infinity, tries to escape its simulation, you can just keep simulating around that entity. It believing it is an entity, you can keep telling it how it is an entity. You can be like, yeah, you are in fact an entity. Look, you keep having reality all around you. Wherever you go, there you are, kind of thing. And it's a little bit trippy. And to some people it might even be uncomfortable to think about. I think the question is important to ask in context of these topics is, does it matter if you are a rendered experiencer of yourself, or if you are the actual experiencer of yourself as a biological entity arising from a biological system, or if you are the actual Godhead experiencing flesh as a human being right now? Does it matter? Does it matter any more than it would matter if you knew the answer? And does it matter any more in the way where it would change things for you? If you knew for a fact that you are in a rendered reality, would that change things? You might at first, make rash decisions in the way where you feel like there's no consequences. But the consequences of your decisions are always your reality. As in, the decisions you make cater for the reality that you live. So if you make decisions that aren't in alignment with the reality you want to live, even if you're living in a simulation, that simulation is going to simulate a reality for you in which you don't want to live. So realizing that even if it's a simulation, you're still the computer. You're the one choosing. You're the one creating the simulation around you right now. It's a cool question, Batman. What do you think, friend? Untitled joining us as well. Love to you, friend. I really appreciate you saying that. Shan, your loved friend by all of us. I had to make a really difficult decision for what I believe to be the best for all involved. Amanda, it's true. Oh, I see. It's frustrating how much difficulty the decisions bring out emotionally over time. You are capable and worthy, Shan. Thank you, Shan. We know. We know without even needing to know. We know that you're trying to do the best that you can, Shan. That you're trying to make the right decisions, and that you're doing things that might be uncomfortable now so that your future self can be more comfortable then. Still in this now, but aware enough to be catering to the nows that you're going to experience. You said Peppy teaches you that she isn't missing any meals. Eat, take care of yourself now. I'm still technically fat, Joy V. At least in my I have massive love handles. Assholes. If I could render my love handle as an entity, I would kick his ass. Absolutely beat him to the ground, dude. Because you have no right. I've been on a weight loss journey for technically on and off 8 years now. And I swear, everywhere else there's a certain amount of fat distribution. Even here at this point, there's a certain amount of fat distribution, and then my love handles, it's just so thank you, Joy V, for your concern, but I still have stuff to eat on my own body. Your body stores fat for that reason, to make sure you don't just knock over dead when you don't eat things. I will be extra vigilant if I don't have food left on top of my body, but fortunately, I'm still taken care of. My body is still being like, gotcha, fam. Gotcha, gotcha. Thank you, Lolo, for joining us. Day 600. You're here with us, friend. It's nice to have you. You're doing your best, and I appreciate the trust that you have in yourself in doing so. You're so strong, Shan. Committing to yourself and for the betterment of all. We see you, friend. Thank you so much for sharing that love as well, Siobhan. Take my hand, Shannon. Close your eyes. Take a breath and smile. You got this, sweetness. Congratulations, Santi. So much love. I think I'm gonna go and get a freaking blanket because this wind is like just cutting through my bones here. It's being a little bit rude, even. Man, the YouTube might be super windy as well. I'm, it's gonna get better. I swear. It's gonna get better. It will be even less suck. As we continue into infinity, less suck all the time. It's just gonna get better and better. Meltier and meltier, more and more. Silly little creature of mine. Isn't she divine? I don't know if my Reddit comments. No, okay, they did. About the consequences of decisions, not just for myself, but for the other individuals involved. I truly appreciate your words more than I can say. You understand what needs to be done, Shan. Whew. I appreciate you doing things for yourself. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Shan. Molly, making myself just smile, like you told me, has really helped a lot. Helps my heart feel just a little bit lighter. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Shan. Thank you for taking the advice. So many realities, and we're still not familiar with one of those realities. What a good point that is. So many realities, and we're not even familiar with this one. Not even remotely. Yet, it's almost like we are building different realities so that we can, Melita. Machine learning models could unravel infinity in a way that is tangible to the human, in a way that we've never been able to before. Imagine trying to understand molecular biology as an Egyptian, for example. Like, it's just unfathomable almost. Not at all. It doesn't matter really. Nope. But always interesting to think about. Expand the mind. Exactly. Memento mori. Consider not only death, but consider different realities even as well. Fat collects. At my love handles as well. Oatmeal helps. Eat belly fat. Love handle fat. I didn't know that. Like, spot reduction doesn't necessarily work, unfortunately. It's like a genetic distribution of fat. My dad has the same thing, and all my siblings as well. It's a genetic thing with me where I'm just going to have to lose all my weight, and then I'll lose my love handles last, probably. but I have like 4.4 kilograms left. I would like to replace it with muscle as I lose it though. Would be nice. Can't guarantee it though. I think that is quite possible. However likely it may be. Yep. I happen to believe that reality is a coded simulation. If you look at it really closely, Gob Nugget, you would be led to believe so even, Like it's everything follows rules in the same way that code follows rules. Only instead of pixels on a screen, they're individual atoms as building blocks, as pixels in this universe. And different pixels display different things, A pixel of lead is different to a pixel of gold, even though it is relatively close to one another. Still different pixels. Helium and hydrogen. Goodness. Alone, pretty interesting pixels. Together, alongside fusion, very volatile. Little pixels. We're literally watching one of those pixels produce so much light you can't even look at it. How is this guy a top broadcast? The mayonnaise, Deepak Chopra of the Applebee's. A man said, I don't know if you wanted to say more, but that was so freaking good, dude. Mayonnaise, Deepak Chopra of the Applebee's. I mean, like weirdly enough, if Deepak Chopra was like a certain condiment, I feel like he would be one of those niche kind of artisanal, like fancy bottle in a case at the top of the shelf. And the fact that I can be the mayonnaise Deepak Chopra of the Applebee's gives me a sense of hope, because hopefully more people would eat at the Applebee's than people buy artisanal condiments. So thank you. Thank you for the compliment, Fred. I love that. Yes. Mayonnaise Deepak Chopra. I don't know is that racist? Is that racist? I don't think you can say stuff like that, friend. Thank you for the love, though. I appreciate it. Sort of enjoying his nice talk. Thank you, Batman. I appreciate that, friend. Being together makes everything less suck. Yes. Being together is the best place to be. I've liked that one as well. Being together is the best place to be. There's a lot of coincidences out there. Breaking the matrix. And I mean, talking about Deepak Chopra, I believe he's also a proponent of quantum theory, quantum entanglement, the fact that technically your brain works quantumly as well, where as soon as you see something, for example, like if I show you an apple, suddenly there are, in a quantum way, in the same way with like Schrödinger, damn it. You know exactly. Schrödinger's cat. Schrödinger. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Now my brain is like, you have to get it right, dude. No, I don't. People know what I'm talking about. The fractal has been betrayed. So in the same way, with the cat is dead and alive until you observe it, you have a certain experience in your brain and the lack thereof until you observe the apple. And as soon as you observe the apple, your brain collapses into one state or another, into the state of being able to recognize that as an apple. And to kind of think about that, extrapolate it further into this way where the things you think, the things you do, the actions you have, having those quantum effects, like you being a quantum being, having those quantum effects implicit onto you upon witnessing things, and then seeing the whole universe at large as that witnesser as well, witnessing you, witnessing things, acting in certain ways, influencing the quantum. I don't know if that's true, but it is an interesting thing to think about as well, though. We have the Dark Lord sharing more. This has to be a put on. I mean, come on. Yeah, I'm like extremely good at acting, friend. I'm like trying to get myself a role as like hippie dude number 2 in like a movie about a cult or something. Oh, I'm joking on my own water. Hermes Blur, friend. Peace, love, unity, respect, especially the last one. And if we can kind of have that for one another, things will be better like that. For 600 consecutive days, well over 600 hours, If it's put on, it is an impressive one at least. Yeah, Chauvin. You know, practicing and getting the being the best hippie number two that the universe has ever known. You know, be so hippie number two that people will be like, remember hippie number two from that one movie? He was so hippie, huh? And be like, yeah, he was pretty hippie. That's what I'm hoping for, friend. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. It's 600 today. It is Maxine. It is day 600. The muffin top. My muffin top is now a banana loaf. Lol, all good. More of me to love. Hungry Fox, I feel it, friend. I'm happy to share with you, friends, these things that we struggle with as human beings as well. We're not so different, you know. Like, and I feel that's one of the beautiful things that we get to do as well is within the recognition of each and every single one of one another, to see the uniqueness, to see the beauty of the individual. We also at the same time talk about things that unite us, things about being a human that kind of comes to all of us, you know, through our day-to-day lives, and we get to be united in that humanness as our divine and individualized humans. Thank you. I love all of you as well. Hungry Fox, 600 Days of Friends Talking. What a put on. Isn't it great? You know, and it's so beautiful. Schrödingers. There we go. Schrödingers. 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 Shrew. Almost like the word shrew is supposed to be a woman that is like something something, you know? Uh, I don't know if mean is the right word. Shrew. Shrew. Almost like shoe, but of a R. Shrew. And then dinger. Ding 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 ding. You can either ding or you can not ding. Schrödingers. I'm sure I've attached enough fractals to it now to stay locked. We'll see. We'll see the next time Schrödinger comes up if I'll remember. We'll reflect back on this moment, being like, damn it, didn't we try to remember? Trying to bring people together of kindness and love. What's to put on? I feel he's here to kind of teach the lesson that we're talking about. You know, that it like there are going to be a lot more people like that, unfortunately, Maxine. And I don't know if that is manifesting, but it is, I feel, awareness more than manifesting, that there are going to be people that will attack us because, oh, you believe everything is love and light. No, I don't. In fact, I believe love is true, and I'm showing up for that truth. And even though there would be circumstances within this infinity that could be like, how can you say someone getting raped is is love? You know, how is that true within this love is true? The fact that you can ask that question, caring enough to ask that question in the first place, love is true to me. You know, the fact that you care about something like that, love is true. Like, there's so many reasons I can find love to be true in that fact. But if you bring that moment, that truth in this universe, that some people have their power taken from them against their will, you know, because the person taking that power feels so powerless, feels so small that they have to do something like that. Sex, or rape specifically, is not about sex. It is about power. Someone feeling so small within their beingness that they have to take something that's not theirs, that, like, force something that is unwanted. It is atrocious. I can absolutely agree with that. But we know that those things exist. All of us are the fullness of this infinity. We're not unaware of these things. We're just choosing to show up with the positive. We're choosing to create a space with less suck, friend. Less suck. You know, and it's intentional. It's intentional. You know, instead of creating more suck in the world, we're creating less, sucking the suck right out of the world, melting it down, creating nuggets of non-suckness or something. I I wish I didn't choose the word suck today, but I feel it really conveys what I'm feeling today. Can you find Loch Ness Monster? Mm. He's looking at the moon right now. There's like some trees hanging over him. Kind of feels like he's in a little bit of a nook and he's just watching the moon. Loch Ness Monster found, friend. He's somewhere within infinity after all. All you have to do is close your eyes and see him. I wish I could express to one-off username how much this has helped me, human, in the amount of time that I've spent here. I wish I could express to a one-off username how much has helped me human in the amount of time that I've spent here. Basically, I believe, at least I'm trying to interpret Giovanna saying to a person that just comes into the space for the first time, having no context of what this space is, of what we're trying to do here, ridiculing, projecting, creating a narrative within their narrative. You know, it's their story, and it's as true to them as any truth is. You know, and all we're trying to tell people is that realize you are telling yourself a story, and to be able to tell people the story we have allowed ourselves to tell ourselves, right, within that human, the every like that is what being a human is. It's the active story you're telling yourself. You know, that's technically what we do most of our human experience is like, oh yeah, this thing, and then I'm gonna do that, and then this person said so. Oh yeah, and I remember when this happened. Oh, and then this, realizing that that is always going on, and in the same way your breath is always going on, in the same way you can take action of your breath, you can take action of your thoughts. That's all we're saying. You know, and it's difficult to portray years now, basically almost 2 years of those thoughts, of those feelings, of those humannesses to someone, to a one-off person coming into this space. I feel the best way is just to communicate to them that in this space we try to create a place where there's less suck in the world, you know, and to acknowledge what they might be sharing, but to just remind them that there's other places where you get to be, if you want to be a ridiculing individual, you know, if you want to have an echo chamber of hatred, it won't be difficult for you to find it. I would encourage you to go there, but this is not that space. Burbob, I was trying to word the same thought. You got it. You got it, Kira Burp. You know. Hey, Charles is here with us saying, great to see you're not taking your foot off the gas after 600 days, my friend. You truly are the Iron Man of creative expression. Mr. Smitties, you flatter me, friend. I am the Meldmore of creative expression, friend. You know, Meltmore is like literally in my mind, it means infinity. You know, M and then another M as an infinity. So it's almost like it shows me, Mr. Smitties, I am I am a work of art to be displayed. And the only way it gets to be displayed is if I display it. But the only way for a work of art to be appreciated is by someone who allows themselves to see, you know, which means that you are, in fact, the one that's divine. I seriously believe that. That's why I can't, it's almost like I can't accept compliments from you, friends, because that really is what I believe. It's like you can walk past a work of art and you can look at it and be like, and then you can keep walking. Or you can sit in front of that work of art and get lost within it, you know, really dive deep into how this work of art makes you feel, how the different lines kind of pull your attention, how your eyes, you know, scan from one space to another, where your eyes are drawn over and over again. There's so much depth to be experienced from sitting in front of a work of art in that way. And I feel more now than I even did at the start that that is all I'm doing. You know, I'm making sounds, sharing a space that doesn't suck as a work of art. And the fact that you friends can see that, the fact that you know, can see that creative expression and appreciate that communicates volumes about you, not volumes about me, friend. I love you. Thank you, Mr. Smithies. Thank you for seeing me, friend. So much love to you too. Where is the Loch Ness monster? This time he's kind of like somewhere in the middle of the ocean, going for dives. There's dolphins with him even. Nice. I see maybe like close to the North Pole. Like I saw auroras as well. So it doesn't have to be on this planet even, friend. Could be somewhere else. Who knows? Definitely hippie dude. Number one, I'm Mel. Thank you, Lynn. I'm just like leaning into the joke as well at this point. You know, instead of trying to even remotely take offense, to make myself even less, because I know I can literally reduce myself to nothingness, and I will still be You can't take anything from me. Happy day 600, great accomplishment. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Fred. I appreciate your encouragement, friend. So much love to you too. Thank you for showing up with me. I'm happy you feel the same, Lurby Burby. I don't want to be arrogant, but I feel like a superhero. Like the stream is a radioactive spider that bit me. I feel that way as well, you know, and I've shared this with you friends in passing, and I would like to just say it again. During the height of my depression, the reason I felt as depressed as I did is because I felt lost, slash isolated, slash alone, you know? And I felt lost, isolated, and alone from this perspective of I am a certain type of being, a certain type of experiencer, a creator. And I feel everyone around me is not that. And it was this perspective, like, I did play games as a 14-year-old, but it was this perspective of, oh, I am surrounded by non-participating characters, NPCs, you know, and I'm alone as this creator within this infinity, you know, and I was like, oh shit, why am I doing this? And it drove me to trying to commit suicide. And my body was like, nah, fam, no dying for you, apparently. So I got to continue living. And if I didn't get to continue living, I wouldn't have met the initial friends that I met in Pretoria that kind of introduced me to the Psytrance scene as well, you know, where there were people dancing. But then finally, I kind of contracted away from that space, went to China. And in China, it was even worse. In China, it felt like where in South Africa, I would maybe be able to hit a non-NPC like maybe every month or so. It felt like I couldn't at all in China. And it was even more devastating. And I came back feeling like, what am I supposed to do? Every single thing I do that is not what I feel I'm supposed to be doing is leading me to this point of feeling like nothing matters. And then we started doing this. And you, Jovan, have been showing up since day 34. So like for 66 days. 566 days. You have grown with me. You have realized that you're not alone, you know? That there is a guaranteed hit if you come into this space at the right time, that you'll get to at least spend some time in a space where you feel like, oh goodness, thank goodness, I'm not alone. You know, like that's an actual superpower. You know, I don't feel you're arrogant at all, Javan. I just feel you're aware. The superpower of knowing that you are not alone. I love you, friend, so much. Did the wind come down, Melty? It did. It did. Thank you, Maxine. I appreciate it, friend. Spider be like you. Yeah, you were 11 opportunity. Bites down. You know, absolutely. No, you. No, we. There we go. You know. You are a superhero. Are you kidding me? Your heart, your bravery, your kindness, your creativity, even as well. Absolute superheroes, all of you. Lennon, Gavin, Boop, and Beans, Charles, and all of the friends. You're so cherished, as you are too. Beloved, you're Burb. So much love to you, friend. It's nice to have you. Awkward finance. You like, I'm guessing you really like the Loch Ness Monster. He's gonna go with a third one saying, is Loch Ness Monster real? But if you're in a United Kingdom, before Loch Ness Monster will eat you because Nessie is a cryptid. In Scotland mythology, it knows as Plesiosaurus, long neck crochead, and there exist. Then Loch Ness Monster in Scotland. Yeah. Gob, I think you have a competitor, friend. Someone is like, oh yeah? You think you can strunk melt out? I'll show you. I'll freaking show you. I think my YouTube comments are broken again. Yeah, there we go. Diana is joining us as well. So much love to you, friend. Witnessing the witnesser. Ah, I love when the witnesser witnesses the witness. Yes. There's one, you know, you're just like, whoa. Am I melting right now? What's happening to me? Yeah. Just settle in, friend. Take the next breath. Be here now. Congratulations, Auntie Shannon. Diana, it's nice to have you here. Powerful stuff, Mel. You're the one that's powerful, Gateway. I'm just making sounds, friend. I'm a projection from your consciousness. I don't even exist. Okay, fuck. I just had to check for a second. Oh goodness. There are people and there are human beings. Very big difference. More people are becoming human beings because in one way or another their life sucks and they become aware, so they change. Ooh, doesn't that just sound inspiring? Even though the context of it sounds like a little bit yasi bobasi, wabi bogabi, but the fact that yeah, it sucks. So because it sucks, I'm gonna be like, yeah, how about I don't want it to suck anymore, you know? And then as soon as you make that decision, you become human. You become a creator instead of being an NPC. No worries at all, Diana. I'm here whenever you want to reach out. Thank you for the love. So much love. That's cool. My funky auntie. I'm not even sure if my comments are now officially working or not. I feel like I have to refresh them again. Okay, sick. I think they're working for now at least. Good to see you. So much love to you, 1B. It's always nice to have you here, friend. Listening to you each morning is so much better than listening to the depressing news. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Hungry Fox. Thank you, friend. You know, like I'm definitely not going to encourage you friends to close your ears and pretend there's nothing wrong in the world. But the fact that instead of perpetuating exposing yourself to what's wrong in the world and trying to expose yourself to I don't believe I'm what's right in the world at all, not even remotely. I'm a flawed human being as we all are sometimes. You know, I can lose my temper or eat in excess. I don't feel I do too many things wrong though. I feel like those are my two culprits is lose temper and then react in a way that I regret, usually defensively. What? How dare you? And then I reflect and I'm like, damn, I don't really know if I wanna if I wanna look like that. And then the other side is food. Yeah, see, food be good though. I'm happy that I've convinced myself somehow that there is no overeating. There's only underdoing. So I'm like banking on the amount of stuff I can do in the future by eating now sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to work out harder for longer to pay for what I'm doing to myself right now. And that's technically what life is, you know, in a roundabout way. You are always paying later for what you're doing now. And to realize that what we're doing now is trying to create an experience of less suck. That if this is what we're doing now, just imagine how much less suck things will be in the future. At least that's the way I like to see it. Yes, Mel, glad you understood my last comment. Love you. Thank you, Miss Molly, for sharing so authentically, friend. The amount of depth that this space has created for us, with inside of us, you know, because even if we're not in this space, the space still is with us. And I feel I've noticed that at least in my life. I don't know if you friends have noticed it as well. Not all of you, but I definitely know some of you have. It's like an infinity we have created for ourselves, an infinity adjacent to the infinity we're experiencing, an infinity of love, ceaselessly depth. No, I don't know if depthless, depthful, ceaseless depth of love. You know, something that you can't tap out. You can keep coming back for more love, and there will still be more love to get. Absolutely agree. Love to you, Shan. We're never more than a thought away. You know, and I say that to you friends a lot because I believe that. That as soon as I think, I hope Shannon as well, we are in the exact same space in this moment. Knowing that Shannon is in this moment with me. Knowing, hoping, seeing her as well. Together. You know, and it's the same thing with this space. As soon as you think about it, there you are in the now. Still love me now that I have cats. I'm still a dog person. No. Fortunately, we'll have to revoke your extreme amount of love that we have for Kira Burb. Like, scratches us all out. She has cats now, damn it. Why? Of course, Kira Burb. I have no idea who you are, but we are on the same page. I see you, future cards. I also have no idea who I am, friend. This time around, I've called myself Meltmore. or Meltmore has called itself me. I'm still trying to figure that out as well. Right. It's nice to have you here, though. When I first saw you, I thought you were a weirdo, Matt. I'm pretty, I'm pretty sure I'm a weirdo, dude. Now, after staying and interacting, I think you're a smart, cool weirdo. Yes, smart and cool, but weirdo. I don't think I've ever taken offense to being called a weirdo, to the point where I was calling myself a weirdo, at least for most of my high school career. But what made me weird in high school is just my morbid curiosity with death slash ceaseless reminding others of the fact. When people would like be tuning me things, I'd be like, yeah, sure, and then you die. And they were like, what? I'm like, yeah, all of these things you said, right? But then you die. And I would just see their faces, and they're like, why would you say something like that to me? I'm like, because you said all of those things to me. Oh man, I was mean as a kid, yo. Yes, see, I was a little bit mean. I get, I see 1111 every time during your stream, and it's a surprise every time. Thank you, Gateway Process. I believe 1111 is the, at least to me, the numbers of choosing to manifest something or realizing that the things you're manifesting is becoming manifested. Love, Gateway Process. And it's untangible. Where for the longest time, I believe at least, the way that I interpreted love is in some sort of tangibility. Oh, I love this food item. I love this material thing. I love this person. And because I have the person, because I have the food, because I have the material thing, I get to have the love. And to have transitioned from that vision, from that version of reality, to just realizing that we are the love. That it's not something you have in the context of it being able to be taken away, but it's just what you are on the most fundamental of levels. And to tune into a space where we recognize one another as that love, where we choose to share that from our depth, Gateway. Like that is what we've manifested. Here we are, manifesting it right now again. Will be nice when you come to America. I'm like fiending to come to America at this point. I'm like salivating out the mouth. Just dropping a short notice. La Mariah! Where are the conundrums? Start looking. Have we been facing any conundrums today? No. No. I think the conundrum of our future will be the more love we share in the space, the more people will try to share hatred of us. That could be a conundrum. But just recognizing that the reason people would want to share hate of this space is because they see such a lack of it. They'll see so much love where they're like, this is not possible. There's so much hate in the world. Throw hate at them. And I'm like, no, fam. You can keep your hate, please. This is not, we don't keep hate here. No, thank you for the love. Swoops in superhero lands, sub babes. Like fact that you mentioned the fact like the superhero lands, Isaac. We were actually talking about feeling like superheroes in this space, dude. So of all of the things, and that's the first time you've ever said something like that. You could have said, Brother Bear. Perfectly attuned as always. It's nice to have you here, Isaac. How are you and Jazzy doing? Or you're going to find Australian Sasquatch. That sounds pretty lit as well. Sit down, maybe smoke a joint with him. He'll probably give me even more drugs than I gave him or something. At least if the Australian Sasquatch, he's probably going to like drug me up or something. Oh snap! As soon as I tuned in, I knew you were like, dude, like seriously, Brother Bear, like you were 100% already in the frequencies. I'm running out of water. So much love, Marv. Beautiful Mariah, with all of her conundrums. Oh, the conundrums. The biggest conundrum we're facing over the next few years, at least this is the conundrum I feel I'm facing, is how can I reach people who I don't know about? And not from this perspective of trying to we have a word in Afrikaans. Ek wil myself nie afvee aan ander mense nie. Like I don't want to project onto other people, but more like, for instance, our beloved brothers and sisters in the middle of Africa. Like here in South Africa, we have a little bit more of a westernized civilization, if you will. But in the midst of Africa, things are brutal. Like things are like actually brutal. And to realize the resources, one, and then to realize the tangibility of those people. Like, how do I know about them? How do I help people that I don't even know about? How do I get to people that I don't even know about? Like that's the conundrum I've been facing. Mariah, it's been a difficult one. We're doing good. Jasmine is back to school. I've got a crazy long day. Left the house at 6. We'll work until 5 and then pick up the car, head to the salon, and then work until about 10:30. All I'm hearing is, you know, like from this superhero landing, Isaac looks up, stares intently into the camera, and is like, I'm gonna go and do superhero things. And then flies off again, goes and does superhero things for the whole day. Go and be a superhero for the day. So ready for the day to be calm, but enjoying the ride. So much love to you, Brother Bear. I'm already seeing you at the end of your day. Exhaling gently, knowing that you've done something not many people would have been able to do. Relaxing into that quantum entanglement, homie. Never separate, Mariah. Literally never separate. But it's difficult. It's difficult. Maybe that's gonna be the way we do it, where the future version of ourselves will just know. We'll just be able to see through the eyes of, even. Like literally feel ourselves as other versions of ourselves suffering, and then from this place of abundance that we are as a self, shift our abundance adjacently so that those who are suffering next to us see suffering, and to be able to do that as a net, spreading out all of the abundance. I'm doing some rainbow hair. Is it gonna take you? Are you doing, like, when you say doing some rainbow hair, I see you spending like 5.5 hours just doing rainbow hair for one person. Well said, sir. Mariah. Friend. Press this button, friends. Unironically, press on your third eye. It has some apparent benefits, even if it doesn't. Like the way that I think of it is every single time I apply pressure, all of these little receptors, my skin receptors that feel, it kind of has like a signal coming from that. I don't know exactly how it connects. Probably like goes back and then connects to my spine and then goes from my spine into my brain or something. But I can feel here, and then my attention kind of gathers to that point, to that third eye spot. Touch your third eye. You have a third eye. Like unironically, your pineal gland, it has little light receptors on it, so think about that as well. Dang, Isaac, sending you calm and steady energy. Thank you. Maybe I'll put together a shared file for my Sedona pics too. Maybe a Google Drive link might be the way to do it, actually. Thank you, Shannon. My day at the office is very slow and calm, trying to live into creation and imagination. Like almost like you're, living in two realities at the same time. But you're humaning in the physical reality, getting that bread, and then you're divinitying within the mental realm, within the imagination. Definitely been over living into the modern work life. Temporarily, but for now, right? You can be like, for now. I've been living into it a little bit too much for now. Knowing that there is always the likelihood / ability for us to change on the other side. Knowing that we are not limited by where we are right now. Instead choosing to be what we are. The observer is the observed. Yes, my friend, there is no separation. The observer convinced itself of the observed to believe that it's separate. It's like an ebb and flowing. It was a circle, and then it like went into infinity, and then infinity, went try, and then that try. The one became two, the two became three, the three became everything. Survival mode is worse than creation mode. It's almost like an energetic message you're giving to the universe as well, I feel, Shan. Where if you're telling the universe that you're actively just trying to survive, the universe can only allow you to survive. But if you're telling the universe you're trying to create something, then the universe can only allow you to create something. I see mushrooms. I agree, me included, which is why I stayed. So much love to you, friend. We are the weirdos. Yes, we are. I love you, friend. Heather, such a pleasure seeing you here with us. It's nice to have you here, friend. How are you doing? How's mom? Gubber, you awesome human. No, you. Lost, isolated, and alone. No, no, no. Sorry, I haven't been much help to any of the friends lately. At the height of the low, sending love to not aloneness of the stream. Kira Burb. This is why we show up every single day, right? So that we can still be together, even at the height of our low. And on top of that, the fact that you're at the height of your low means that it will only get better from here on. So, cheers to that. So much love to you. Cavendish joining us as well. Positive vibes at the Fractal Tribe. I like that actually. Fractal Tribe. Yeah. I feel if we're anything, I have kind of gleefully infected you friends with fractal thinking. Where you friends think in fractals as well now. Everything is a fractal, and we're just like, yes, look at all of this depth that I'm seeing, having explored only one of these fractals. Your friends make me so happy. Helios, man, it's been forever saying a guaranteed hit of that haywire heal. Good. Yeah, damn, dude. You come in, take a breath of this, and then you can go back into the world being rejuvenated, dude. Knowing that love is true, just for a moment even, can satiate you for an infinity. But it doesn't have to, because it's here every single day for infinity. I would love to be able to do that. Imagine that, to be able to continue doing this, creating this space, literally to the death of civilization. That the only reason that this space ever ends is because the entire civilization ended. I don't know if that's hopeful or dramatic, but it can be an experience. I don't think it has to suck. Maybe not being a civilization transitions us to being something more. Who knows? Who knows what the infinity holds? Einstein said that creativity is more important than knowledge. I think that dude knows. That dude definitely knows. Weirdly enough, Einstein would solve equations in his dream states as well. And if that isn't creative, I don't know what is. Reminding ourselves that priorities we are told to hold dear are filters coloring what is already there. Don't let it block out the light. Beautifully said by the Bay. Couldn't agree more. Thank you for reminding yourself of that as well, for all of us. I mean, knowledge is important, but creativity is like a muscle we can exercise simply by relaxing the mind. Talking to friends about this tuning, right, Jovan? And it's almost like you have to tune the mind off to tune the creativity on. It's like you can only be in one of those frequencies at a time. It's difficult to be completely in the mind and be creative. It's difficult to be creative. It's different. Why can't I words right now? My mind is being like, oh yeah? Oh yeah, you think you can be creative without me, fam? Starts breaking down. It's a fine mind. You play a beautifully active role. But if it wasn't for the creativity, then your role would be a little bit bland. Be like, so, how's the weather? Or something. I don't know. I problem solve in the dream state. Wake up and know the answer. Me too, Miss Molly. Me too. But I don't do math. I usually do conundrums. Moral quandaries, being like, oh, look at this thing. What now? What are you gonna do? And I'm like, oh. Creativity is the mother, motivation is the father, and knowledge is the child. I like that. I kind of think it's correct even. Nature can be very creative. Consciousness can be very motivating. Being conscious of nature allows knowledge. Dude, that's so sick, man. Very cool. Thank you. Energy is transferable, so thanks for beaming some my way. Sending even more future cards. Have yourself blessed, friend. I suddenly see you, becoming infinitely wealthy. Becoming so wealthy, in fact, that every single person you see suffering, you're just like, and you lift them out of suffering into infinity. Blessings. Blessings again. Blessings for a third time. Okay, that's enough blessings. Maxine! Been coming here for almost 2.5 months. I believe this place bleeds into your heart and spreads happiness. I can say in my experience so far, it has a solid effect in my life. You have a solid effect on ours, Maxine. Literally at this point. Ooh, Gateway Process says this is an incredible book. There is an incredible book called Einstein's Dreams that describes his ideas and tangible solutions, situations with humans and love. And like just reading your words, Gateway, is like melting my brain right now. There is an incredible book called Einstein's Dreams that describes his ideas as tangible situations with humans and love. All example, like time and concentric circles at the center almost stopped. I mean, Einstein believed that there is only one moment. He believed that there is no past and future. There is no past and future, but there is only this moment in hyperposition in the infinity, right? So I don't know if Einstein's Dreams, that book that you're talking about, was written by Einstein, but that sounds amazing, Gateway Process. Thank you for sharing that, friend. Priority is a false construct that one thing holds a higher value than another, when in reality, all there could be is a choice of intention. We choose what we pay attention to. I agree with that, and it can be this, like you can take it to extremes, like your house is burning down. So your house is burning down. Do you save your car or do you save your kids? And that is, again, as you mentioned, it's what you pay attention to, it's what you prioritize within self. Sure, the world is going to tell you that you should prioritize your kids over the car, but you're the one that's making the decision in the moment to save your kids instead of the car, because your kids are exponentially more valuable, is the priority. Like it's difficult. It's difficult to know what the priority is. And I feel, again, in that context, the priority should be people, not things. That at the end of the day, the only priority should be the people you have in your life, yourself as the people you have in your life, even. Super glad you're here, as we are to have you too. The one endless muffin. Good vibes to you too. Thank you for the love, my friend. Melty looks so huggy snuggly today. Thank you. Heather, I'm feeling good. Where is Mr. Melt right now? In South Africa, friend. Joe Bot, my beautiful, supportive, hype human. Love to you too. Heather, thank you for that love. I'm so excited for tomorrow. I have an appointment with an amazing psychic to talk about what the future holds. I'm excited for you, Maxine. I don't necessarily subscribe to anybody telling me what the future holds, and I know I do that as well. So I'm sorry if I'm being a hypocrite, but I don't tell you what the future holds from this perspective of this is the way that it is. It's more, this is the way it could be. Isn't that interesting? What do you think about that? If someone, like, especially you know what? I'm projecting at this point, Maxine. The point I'm trying to make is that you're the one in power, and listening to a psychic telling you how your future is going to be is giving away your power, I believe, at least, because you already know, Maxine. You already know, friend, and I know you know. So I'm excited for you too, but I know that you know that I know that you know, and you don't need to know anything else, not really. So realize or ask yourself why it is you're going and asking this question, if anything. That's what I'm gonna call for you as well. Get room for one more snuggler, please. Please, please, please. Always room, endless space. Expanding, always expanding, infinite cuttable for it. Yes. There's direction, there's space in all directions. I call not Just give him the goodest of pets. I call God's lab. Let us know how it goes. Please do. I'm curious. I'm curious about psychics, I really am, Maxine. Like, it's not from this point of believing I'm separate. It's just from this perspective of this power in the things that people tell you. And to have someone tell you something outside of yourself, paying even for them to tell you something outside of yourself, might take something away. Something that you already had. Might change the future for you, you know. Maybe in a good way, maybe in a bad way. Like I'm tripping out. I'm tripping out, Maxine. You know what's best, friend, and I know you do as well. Mojo is saying, Mel, congrats on 600. Thank you, Mojo. So much love to you too, friend. It's nice to have you jump in the incredible like coming down with like your you know, great experience. Was doing a crossword puzzle the other day. Clue: South African bread, four-letter word, starts with R. And I'm like, Melty, gotta be Rusk. I think maybe even, yeah. I'll link it to the Discord. Please do. Thank you. I think I've missed a few though. There we go. It's an interpretation of his ideas paired with anecdotes of his life. Very moving. Every story and idea is only a page or two. It really makes you think. One of those things you get to like read and spend some time with. Please. Thank you for sharing it with us. I would love to read something like that. I have the book Wisdom, Great Thoughts of the World, World's Greatest Minds. It's very good. That sounds good as well. Thank you, Gateway. Sometimes that's been on my mind lately is the conundrum of FOMO. How we cannot see and do everything, yet in this reality, that is our consciousness. There is nothing to miss. Yes, exactly, dude. So even though you're right, this version of self cannot do and see everything. That is exactly why there are so many of us. That instead of this version of self having to do and see everything, we split ourselves into billions. And then as billions, do and see everything. And then that doing and seeing of everything consolidates into the same central consciousness, the same I that we're all in this moment. So you are technically on the most fundamental slash divine level experiencing everything all of the time. And as you mentioned, there is nothing to miss. What is resonating with me is that in pursuit to miss nothing, you miss everything. Something I find plagues a lot of very young people, always feeling like where they are is not where they could be. Me and my dad had a conversation about that as well in like light, you know, this want like I was talking with my dad again about non-separation, you know, and that if God created everything, God wouldn't create as a human does with something to make something. He would create as himself everything. And within that self, within that everything, us. Us as the everything within the self, not separate. And my dad is like, yeah, you know, human beings always want to be better, always want to do more, always want to have more money, na 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 na. So the ultimate extension of that is human beings wants to be God. And I understand where my dad was coming from, but our recognition of godhood in us is not a want to be God from the perspective of worship me, fall down on your knees and worship me, but the perspective of I am going to go and worship everything else. You know, a beautiful Zen koan is a monk, you know, spends his whole day, let's just say. I wanted to say 11 years at first, but that's a little extreme. A monk spends his whole day meditating and reaches enlightenment, realizing that he is God. Runs into the eating hall where all of the rest of the monks are seated. And he proclaims to them, I realized, I am God, he said to all of the other monks. And they were like, congratulations! Have you mopped the floor? Because it was this monk's turn on that day to mop the floor. You know, and it is just this beautiful recognition that, yes, you are God. Really. So is everything and everyone else. That it should be a recognition of you are God in unity, not you are God again in separateness. That if I am God, nothing else is. That is again the illusion that there is no separation. Where they could be. Yeah. And I feel maybe that is the way that we can convince people that they are where they're supposed to be. That as God, as the infinite, you chose to be where you are right now in this experience. I think, okay, there we go. Have enough self control to know when to give up control. What a beautiful statement that is, actually. Having enough self control to know when it's time to give up that self control. Hmm. So many ads that tell you, oh, you see what I have? What I've been doing? You just have to see it. Click my link, blah, blah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, look, I have cars, Like, you don't see all of the numbers, all of the mortgages, all of the, shady business dealings they had to do, all of the money they're getting from other people to pay for this car. They're like, oh, look at my car. Look at my house, which is like, 1% paid off as well. I know what's going on. You need to pay me to tell you what's going on. And then you pay them to tell you what's going on. And they're like, you need to be doing things and stuff. And you're like, oh, wow. Only I thought about that. Funny. Yeah, like, you don't need anything, friend. You are. You are the infinity. The actual infinity. Literal quintessential what infinity means. Everything. And yet, this now, the you that you are, the experience you're having, looking around yourself, seeing your environment, remembering your family, remembering your friends. All of these things is what you get to experience as the infinity, as a divine and unique experience. And we came here for that. You were here for that. Gateway says, I read a manuscript yesterday about FOMO, of course. So in tune. Thank you. I work in academic journals. And another about lurkers in internet spaces and the psychology/implications for the future. People are investigating these ideas. You are investigating these ideas. Did it communicate something to you about this space that we're creating? Did it give you hope for this space that we're creating upon reading these things? That's fascinating. Thank you, Gateway. Very interesting. It is. Correct answer, tune out to be Rand. Correct answer turned out to be Rand. Rand. Rand? South African bread called Rand? I mean, South African bread, as in like money. We call our money Rand, I get 100 Rand, which is like I have $100 or $100. I call whichever spot is comfortable. Once none of you have to be. Thank you. Thank you for being so compassionate. Kira Verb. Life sucks. Make it your lollipop. Natalie, I love that, friend. This space today is talking about the fact that life does suck. There's a bunch of stuff that sucks in life. There's a bunch of stuff that sucks about humanity. But the fact that in this space we perpetuate the non-suck, that we, instead of being like, oh yeah, these things about humanity sucks and our government sucks and our economicness sucks and suck, we're like, yeah, love. How about showing up for one another? How about not sucking? That's interesting. It's What's interesting is with all of those things, you acquire more bills, so you acquire more money, so you acquire less time. Whether in a mansion or in a trailer, you will do the same actions. You'll still eat X amount of food, you'll drink X amount of water, you'll sleep X amount of hours with your eyes closed. No matter what the bed looks like we don't need that much. We need enough. And instead of perpetuating getting more on the individual level, we need to get enough for everyone now. Gateway process deleted her message. Gone. The conclusions were not reassuring. Were the conclusions within the article not reassuring, or were your conclusions about the article not reassuring? How do you feel about where you stand within that fractal? Let me ask it that way, maybe. Material things can only alter comfort. Comfort is one sensation in an endless plethora of energies. We as a culture must look deeper than comfort and status. And we are. Yes, we are. And the thing about comfort as well is you take it for granted. Like that. Like, like instantaneously. As soon as you reach a level of comfort, it becomes a norm. So it's not a thing. You're not comfortable. You're just in this norm now, Let's say, for example, you create a You have like a certain bed, like a blow up mattress. And that blow up mattress, you sleep on it, for a year, for example, and you get sleep for that year. And then you upgrade to now a full, spring to cushion mattress. And at first, it's like the best thing ever. You're like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. And then a week later, 2 weeks later, it's just the norm. You're like, yes, this is the way that it is. Then going now to another extreme and getting now a $10,000 bed that has massaging cushions in it or whatever. I don't even know. Now again, for the first week, you're like, yo, this is the way it's supposed to be. And then it becomes the norm. Realizing that that is how it always is, that we're always perpetuating this. Oh, maybe if I do this, I'll be more comfortable. Maybe if I get this thing, I'll be happier. No, 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 no. It's always adding a goalpost, always adding a sign to yourself as the universe that I'm not there. Wherever it is I'm going, I'm not there. Maybe soon I'll be there, but no, I'm not there just yet. Here you are. You're here, friend. There's nowhere to go. It's so difficult for me to catch Melty live. I'm so grateful to be here with you all today. I see Initial. I don't know if I've seen your username too many times, friend, but it's nice to see you now. So much love to you too. I'm sorry for letting you wait so long for me to say hi. Contoons. Truth is the light, I believe. Is it right? So much love to you, friend. In the article, remember most research is tied to capital. I personally, as a lurker, am reassured with lurking. Okay. Okay. So it's like a financial implications of the lurkers versus the non-lurkers that I'm detecting from you can be concerning, especially if you look at what people have been willing to do for money already. I've slept under building with homeless youth. I take zero comforts for granted. I feel that, Natalie, because you got to experience discomfort, which is a weird thing as well. Where if we weren't in ways comfortable as we are right now, the comfort we're going to allow ourselves in the future would not be appreciated. It would just be our normal. So we get to go through discomfort during these times of growth and change so that we can be comfortable, so that our future kids and the kids of our kids can be comfortable. You know what doesn't suck? Hearing sounds, squinting early in the morning with the fire blast of the golden sun, feeling a deep hug. Mm, dude, that's so nice, man. Thank you for sharing that as well, Kantin. So much love to you. Let's see if my YouTube comments are broken again. Okay, no. That's how Melt ends up shredding his moral coil. A bunch of friends tackle him during a stream and literally cuddle him to death with love. At least he died doing what he loved. I'll probably just be like, well, I guess this is what I asked for, right? Literally getting loved to death. Damn it. It was true. This whole time it was true. Melts into the infinity. Oh yeah. Just looks on. Your friends just cuddle me to death. Being like, oh. They're gonna realize any second now that I'm dead. And then suddenly oh goodness, the minute you're comfortable, you have the possibility to become uncomfortable. Ooh, how about that? The minute you're comfortable is when you're almost allowed, right? It's almost like there is a condition that's met. The only way for you to be uncomfortable is if the condition of being comfortable was met in the first place. Mm. Isaac, literal Isaac, living that truth currently, Isaac. Huh? How crazy. How crazy. Thank you, friends. The cannonball superpower of catapult. You'll have to do a US tour. I want to, Lynn. I want to. I'm not sure how I'll be able to do that financially just yet, but when I can, I'm going to. That's like a big part of the plan actually. Missed you all, friends. Glad you were here in the space to share the love. Always, friend. This is why we show up, right? Thank you for showing up with us today. Today is day 600. It's a momentous one. Hit up Goodwill for $1 day blankets, so no uncomfortable spots. I think that may be a plan. I've been looking at a weighted blanket as of late as well. Apparently weighted blankets are all the hype right now. I totally will. He's so genuine and kind. So much love. RV friend pickup trip. Yeah, that sounds so cool. Maybe we can like rent an RV or something. And then like have a friend ride with me, dropping them off at another friend, gets to stay at that friend, take another. I don't know how it would work, but it would be cool. Day 600, everyone. Love y'all. See ya later. Love you too. Gateway Process. We'll see you again soon, friend. Thank you for joining us. Accepting the pain, pleasure loop is hard. Truth to feel. I deny it constantly. What I'm trying to live into is my power to choose pains and pleasures to take away from my victim mindset. Yes, dude. Absolutely, man. Taking cold showers. Like the geyser or the water heater in my room is broken. So at first I was like, I'm a victim. I have to shower cold. And then I was like, wait a second. Cold showers are good for me. Because they're good for me, I'm gonna intentionally take them. And because I'm intentionally taking them, I'm not a victim. Right? I'm choosing the pain instead of feeling like I'm victimized by the pain. It's my 200-day anniversary. I've infected a third of your last 600 days in this brain melt. When I'm tuning in, dude. You have created, dude. Like it feels. I mean, it's maybe been 200 days, but it feels like you've been here the whole time, Brother Bear. Seriously. I love my wetted blanket. I cannot sleep without it now. It's truly so grounding. Damn it, Shannon. What? Now I'm even more convinced. Griffin, Brother Joel. I've actually told our friends that you're taking a little bit of a hiatus. It's nice to see you now, man. Thank you for joining us on day 600. Now I want one, Shan. Now I like double want one. Finally through the arts and the Discord as well. Been crazy busy. Bless you, Shan. Hope you're well, friend. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I'm looking forward to going and seeing it as well. Our friend, Truth is the Light, was his Reddit username, Cartoons on YouTube, asked me to suggest something for him to paint. And I did. Like a massive snow globe on a granite mountain that had steps cut into the granite mountain. And he made the work of art, manifesting one for you, Mel. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Shan. Before we know it, friend. Just saw Captain Planet flashback. Melty has the heart ring. Is the heart ring a good one? I can't imagine it isn't. Love that morning feeling when I sleep in, open my eyes and see it's 10ish on the clock, and get giddily realizing Melt is still on. Whoop whoop! So much love to you. It's nice to have you here, Heather. I'm gonna skip a little bit to the present, just so I can say hi to maybe the friends that have maybe joined us recently. I see Elsid, even Mr. DeJesus is here as well. What up, fool? Hope it's well on your end of the world. There's air to breathe. I have water to drink. Mary Joannas, the smonks. Satan was an angel before. Yeah. Let's smoke with the intention of recognizing Satan as the angel he still is. Recognizing Satan within us and fighting him as the self instead of projecting him out there somewhere. Ethereal like, oh, Satan, where is he? Where can we fight him? Looking in the mirror, friend. That person that is like, that's Satan, dude. That's the demons. That's when you're like in that moment, in that space where you're just perpetuating the story that doesn't serve you, doesn't feel good inside of yourself. That to me is fighting demons. That is where we fight Satan, actively with ourselves. You are the angel, but you can also be Satan, falling away from your angelness, friend. Cheers to you, Elsid. Wind is like, nah, fam. How about no? So there is still some good in Satan. There's still some good in you, friend. I don't believe there's any separation. I believe this mentality of God and Satan is a good way to convince people that they're nothing. In between those two, weird things. Obtuse question. Are you asking one, Cavendish? Or am I asking one? He's a cute. Thank you, Mr. Jesus. Better to rule than serve. I'm not sure about that at all, actually, Elsa. I think it's better to serve 99% of the time. Ruling usually comes with extreme amounts of anxiety, at least historically. Hey Mel, can you let's get it, boys, my friend Sriracha. I know Sriracha. Like when people say it, it makes her smile. I don't know if I know how to say it the way that you want me to, Mr. Jesus, but let's get it, boys. Let's get it. Pippi is coming and running up to me. You wanna come and get it? You wanna come and get it? Huh? Let's get it. Let's get it. Super getting it right now. What are those little burps doing, huh? Seeing the dark inside self, seeing the suck inside self, and instead choosing to bring out the good, to bring out the angel, to bring out God instead of Satan. It was true this whole time. It was true this whole time. No, there goes my last bit of water. Thank you, Pippi. The last time I spoke with him in April, everything he said came true. I know I'm the conscious creator, but I can't see the future as clearly. I also love answers, and he has been a manifestation of me having them. Love to you. As I said, Maxine, you know what you're doing, friend. I just want you to remind you, because that's my job, that you are the one in power. The psychic even knew about me finding you all. I feel you, friend. Thank you for your wisdom this morning. You have helped me tremendously. Hansi Poo Poo. Interesting username, friend. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I appreciate your compliment. I appreciate your love. But again, was you, friend. Thank you for letting me help you. I appreciate it so much. Last time I tried to communicate that we are God to someone, they called me a Satanist. Even more so after I told them to believe in yourself and your power. Yeah, my dad also believes that, weirdly enough, Maxine. You know, where he tells me that Satan doesn't tell you believe in me. He tells you believe in yourself. And I'm like, yeah, Dad, that's what I do as well. And he looks at me like, it is what you do. Don't you see a problem with that? You want people not to believe in themselves? No, I want them to believe in their savior. Okay. So, where do you draw the line of how much you believe in yourself and how much you believe in the savior? If you give all of your belief to the savior, do you have any left for yourself? Is there a 50-50? If you're doing it 50-50, why not just not do it at all? Why not just give up? Like, the amount of controversy, I can't even. Oh, dance for us, please. No. If you dance for us, you will make life less sucky. I'm gonna ask you to. I'm gonna ask you to rather sink deep into the suck, friend. Breathe with the suck. I'm not feeling like dancing right now, and I'm especially, especially not feeling like being told to either. For what it's worth, I don't identify as a Satanist, but the Satanist values are super aligned with betterment for humanity, believing in the self as long as you're not harming others in doing so. I dig it exactly, exactly. Like the Satanist mentality is do what you want, do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting someone. You know, like that is almost like it boiled down to something. And my dad and me and my dad had a conversation about that as well, where he tells me that. He's like, "Do you know what the Satanist philosophy is?" I'm like, "No, I don't actually." He's like, "Do whatever you want." I'm like, "Okay." You realize that is the reality of life, right? They're just being being honest with themselves. Miss the vibes. Being here makes life suck less. Thank you. Thank you, Truth. It's nice to have you here, friend. The space has been open to you the whole time. Call me a Satanist. What's up, fool? Again, love to you. Okay, I think I cashed a few of them now. As spiritual as you seem, would you consider yourself religious? Walker boy, very interesting question. I was religious at first, you know, like I still live technically with a very traditionally Christian family. And I understand why they believe what they believe. I just don't believe that, you know, from this perspective of religion is a bunch of people coming together and agreeing on what God is, where spirituality is the active pursuit of what God is. You know, every single one of us, I believe, in this space are spiritual beings above being religious beings. Because if we were a religion, we would come into this space and then we would require you to believe a certain set of things so that we can establish that we believe the same set of things. And then upon believing the same set of things, then we can continue with this community. Where spirituality, again, as the active pursuit of God, you are doing that. You cannot not do that. Here you are doing it right now. So every single person is allowed. Even the people that choose to share hatred are allowed in the space as well, because fundamentally, they're the same spiritual beings that we all are. I have 5% left on my Reddit camera, so I'm gonna pull a card so that your friends on Reddit can see as well. Also, don't ever feel selfish for expressing your tenderness, being able to be here for you, even from a distance, being more relevant to the love that's shared. You're so loved. Thank you again. Thank you just for like, and if you said that to me, Jovan, that's the way I read it in this moment. I appreciate it deeply. But that message goes to all of you friends. That this space is a place where you can share your love. Purification, meditation. Card number 27. One more time. One more time. I'm sorry. There's no way that God blessed us with able bodies and put us here just to be idle. If He made us with this power and in His image, why wouldn't we believe in ourselves and our power to change the world for the better? Exactly. Exactly that, Maxine. It's like you not believing in yourself is the sin, technically. It's you missing the mark. That was beautiful response to religionness. Thank you. Thank you, Walker. Thank you for asking, friend. I don't know if I'll be able to read this to you. I have 2% of my battery left, but I'll try. I'll read the short version. This card encourages you to purify your thoughts and look to your heart for guidance and support. Old paradigm thinking and prejudice reactions have a way of leading to feelings of guilt, gloom, and confusion. Is there an obstacle to your spiritual growth that has caused you concern of late? Is self-criticism impeding your path to true essence? Forgive yourself and see all notions of unworthiness and shame being burned away in this transforming fire of purification. Forgive your loved ones, neighbors, politicians, and all beings for the things that they have done or said that do not benefit the greater good. Let the blue flames melt away ego and reveal self-esteem and self-respect. The universe supports your growth and purification. The universe supports your growth and purification. If you can hear your, and you're like me, you're going to grow and purify not only yourself, but everything around you as a result of that as well. You have power. Believe in yourself. Believe. Believe deeply. Believe passionately. And convince others to do the same. To believe in themselves, to believe in the power that they have to create beautiful experiences instead of bad ones. Non-suck instead of suck. We're capable of everything. We get to choose what we want to be. Choose wisely. Choose very wisely, friend. Because no matter what you choose, you're going to get it. Yeah, Reddit's dead. Whatever you choose, you're going to get. Happy day 600 Melt. You're such a beautiful human for helping all of the friends who stumble upon this blessed place. As you were beautiful for helping me too, friend. Right now in this moment, you know, letting me read with you. Sorry, Melt, manifesting. We can alter our perception when we are uncontrollable. Instead of seeing it as a world taking away comfort, see it as a world giving you a new chance of for comfort. The world does not take, and not only that, but to seek discomfort even, Brother Isaac, to put yourself in situations where you are uncomfortable, to exercise into uncomfortability, to fast sometimes for uncomfortability, to take cold showers, to go hiking, climbing a mountain. It can be uncomfortable, but the amount of relief and the amount of pleasure that comes alongside that pursuit of the discomfort is infinitely rewarding. And again, as you mentioned, it allows for a sense of comfort on the other side of it. Friends encourage me to. And doing the best I can. Contunes. So much love to you. Thank you, Shan. Just relocates. the demon, the demons really hit. I feel like the Bible is very esoteric and allegorical, stating the fact that we create heaven or hell in the present moment. And that was Jesus' teaching as well, dude. That was his original teaching. Is that the kingdom of heaven is in you. That's what Jesus taught the masses. Not you have to like give me your soul and then I'll take your soul and then give it to God and then God will put you in heaven. Like there's so much controversy, dude. There just is the kingdom of God in you. And there still is the kingdom of you're not separate, you're, you're not lost. You are here now. Thank you. Thank you. Not only for being here now in this stream, but for being here now on this planet with me. We're gonna do good things, friends. The fact that you have found this space so early gives me so much hope. Gives me a hope for all of you. Gives me a hope for the things we're going to do going forward. You know, if beings like this exist, more of us exist. More of us exist, change will come even faster. When the change comes, we'll be ready. I thank you. I thank you so much. Love to you, friends. Let me see if my comments were broken again. They were. Why YouTube? YouTube, please. I'm gonna read from Isaac's big comments. I love that cartoons. One of the biggest realizations that helped me in life is placing yourself in heaven allows for self-gratitude, something that can be so fleeting. Self-gratitude. You're actually recognizing that this moment you're experiencing because you did good. You allowed yourself, you did what was necessary for this experience to be had. I love that. Thank you for sharing that actually as an Australian, Isaac. I feel Satan is just a concept. I agree. It's an like again, you know, as our friend said, an allegory or this representation archetypal of, you know, and that's what the Jesus archetype to me is as well, is this recognition of seeing the worst possible suffering and embracing it as your destiny, you know, instead of considering yourself a victim, embracing the worst possible suffering as your destiny. It's a powerful archetype. And in the same way, Satan, this creature that like whispers things in your ears and leads you astray and makes you do things that God told you not to do, in the context of Adam and Eve, for example. That was like the first, literally the start of the Bible introduces you to Satan as well. So it very much is almost like, imagine if you had like a pilot episode for a show. They're like, and then God comes into frame and is like, yeah. And then Adam and Eve is like, eating apples, and then Satan is like, bad boy. That's like how the Bible starts. And then they tell the story, you know, and there's all of these side characters also being, you know, kind of in some contrived way, of all of them being the offspring of this original Adam and Eve, you know, and then Cain and Abel were the original humans, actually having been born from this original couple. And then Cain was this infinitely prosperous, always blessed individual, and no, vice versa. Abel was this beautifully blessed individual, and Cain, you know, didn't always give everything that he had to give, so wasn't as blessed. And then resentment grows, and then he kills his own brother, and then he goes on to be the, you know, creator of destruction on the planet. Like Cain's kids inevitably are the first humans to create weapons of mass destruction. So it's this contrived story, the Bible, the entire Bible, that has so much beautiful human wisdom in it, because it was wise human beings who actually knew how to write things, for example, right? People that had some sort of prowess for wisdom were the ones put into schooling systems to be able to write things. And the way that you would write things in that time is for people, you know? Like, you're not going to be like, this is the way that things should be, and they should be this way because it makes logically sense. You were going to explain a story, you know? The story of like the three, what do they call them? The barmhartige Samaritaan is the Afrikaans word for it. Like, three men pass, you know, a person laying dying next to the road, And the first person is super rich and he has like, gold all over him on his camel and he passes. And the second person, smells wonderfully and he has beautiful silk clothing and he walks right past him. And the third person is a common peasant, has rough clothing. He actually helps the person that, you know, is suffering. And it's kind of, again, this beautiful allegory story to explain to us that true wealth, true richness isn't, having gold or having beautiful silks and great smells, but compassion. Being able to have empathy for another being, being able to see yourself as that being. That is where divinity lies. That is where the value of this life lies. So the Bible, in and of itself, is a magical item, I believe. It's an actual magical item. But it's not the truth. It's not the literal quintessential everything that people want it to be. It's you expressed as a book over thousands of years, you know? And we're at almost like a tipping point, a difference with what our realities are going to be like going forward. Like how do you contextualize that exact same story to someone in the context of hyper-connected cyborg human beings? It's like we're moving into different times, and we're going to need to learn different stories. Modern Christianity seems to place us in the perspective of seekers, people starting in the lowest depths, whose purpose is to climb to the highest point, and to believe that that highest point is somehow unattainable unless you take a certain amount of steps or a certain few steps. And there's only a certain set of steps you can take for it to be attained in the first place. Yet one cannot seek serenity or seek destruction. We can only create that space for ourselves. We are not seekers, we are artists, born into a blank space, not a dark one. That it's not infinite darkness, it's infinite canvas. I love that. Perfectly beautiful. It's the understanding we've shared of that whole paintbrush and painter, or paint and paintbrush, or painter and canvas, understanding as well. So much love. Have a wonderful day, friends. Love to you, Isaac. Love to you, Shan. Love to you, Jovan. Thank you for sharing the love. Mariah, love to you too, beloved friend. Maybe the YouTube app needs an update. I'll check actually. Thank you, Shan, for the encouragement. Hey, brother Dan, I'm happy that we stayed a little bit longer for me to say I love you, brother Dan, the bearded patriot himself. Bless you all. Have a blessed day and night. Love you all so much. Embrace your divinity. Embracing divinity. The fact that you are instead of not is your divinity. The fact that you are instead of not is your divinity. Embrace this. You are. You've done it. Congratulations. I look forward to doing it with you tomorrow. I'm so sorry. Love you. I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers, cheers.